The impact of money laundering is far-reaching. It's not restricted to the financial sector, it affects society as a whole. It fuels corruption, organised crime and terrorism. It distorts markets and undermines trust and integrity in the financial system. It's a global problem affecting many countries. But have you ever wondered just how much money is laundered through the financial system each year? The answer might surprise you. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, this is estimated to be between 2 to 5% of global GDP. So if we round up various estimates of global GDP to approximately $100 trillion, this equates to between $2 to $5 trillion every year. The upper estimate is equivalent to the GDP of the world's third largest economy. And according to the Financial Action Task Force, almost all large value money laundering schemes have a cross-border element. But despite global efforts to combat money laundering, it's estimated that less than 1% of illegal proceeds are seized by authorities. Let that sink in. An estimated $2 to $5 trillion is laundered, but only an estimated $20 to $50 billion, with a B, is seized. Money laundering is amongst the hardest financial crime activities to detect and a complex data challenge. So could the data and technologies we have today help us better in identifying and analysing money laundering techniques, networks and flows of funds? The previous sessions raised some of the opportunities and challenges connected with using artificial intelligence and machine learning and for big data analysis, and how new technologies could offer enhanced privacy and information security. I want to tell you how Project Aurora explores these opportunities and investigates a data-driven approach to combating money laundering across institutions and borders using the latest developments in technology. Today, financial institutions are at the front line and bear most of the responsibility for preventing and detecting suspicious activities, relying on due diligence processes and monitoring transactions. But they face challenges. Their data and systems are often siloed, and they're often forbidden by law to share information with other institutions. Criminals, on the other hand, typically operate in networks and use complex layering techniques to move and hide money across institutions and borders. Criminals can quickly change their behaviours and tactics, faster than financial institutions can adapt and respond due to siloed data systems, the inability to share information, or legal and regulatory constraints. Many money laundering techniques, for example money muling or round-tripping, traverse across financial institutions and national borders. In other words, while money being laundered travels fast across institutions and networks, the information that could help fight it cannot do the same. Project Aurora explores alternatives to the current approaches and aims to address some of these limitations, taking a data-driven approach focused on using transaction data to identify suspicious networks and flows. It has three parts. First, a synthetic data set was created to mimic payment transactions across several institutions that operate nationally and internationally, with cross-institution and cross-border money laundering techniques hidden within that data set, as you can see here. Synthetic data is artificial data that's generated using algorithms or statistical models, and it enables machine learning models to be trained and avoids the need for sensitive information to be shared. Second, we applied machine learning models followed by privacy-enhancing technologies on that data set. And privacy-enhancing technologies, or PETs, allow data to be securely shared and analysed, limiting the disclosure of sensitive information. We began by training the machine learning algorithms and compared different approaches to analysis to determine whether it's possible to detect these suspicious networks and flows that were hidden in the dataset, and also to measure the effectiveness of each of these approaches. First, we compared a siloed approach versus a centralized approach or pooled approach without privacy-enhancing technologies applied. We then applied privacy-enhancing technologies to compare a centralized approach with a decentralized approach. In the centralized approach, data from financial institutions was first encrypted using privacy-enhancing technologies, then pooled and analyzed without having to decrypt that data. In this decentralized approach, we applied another type of privacy-enhancing technology called federated learning, where a common machine learning model is trained locally on each financial institution's data, but only the results and the model updates are shared, not the underlying sensitive data. Different money laundering techniques require different data points and additional data sources to better identify them. So in the third part, the synthetic data set was augmented to include other data sources, corporate registries being but one example, to see how this improved detection. The project also explored how information describing money laundering techniques, also known as typologies, could be represented as a standardized digital taxonomy so it can be used by analytical systems, and how the public and private sectors could collaborate to develop this further on an ongoing basis. The project is concluding and the full findings will be published soon. But when comparing today's approaches, as you can see on the slides, both approaches used in the project have shown promising results by using privacy-enhancing technologies and machine learning models to better detect complex patterns of money laundering across institutions and borders than we have today. In summary, the project has highlighted the complex data challenge and cross-institution and cross-border nature of the problem. Technology can also enable us to improve detection of these suspicious networks and flows compared with today, as well as to better understand the techniques used by money launderers. Technology can also enable better collaboration and information sharing between the public and private sector. And public-private partnerships are essential, and when combined with the data and technologies that we have today, can play a critical role in better combating money laundering and other forms of financial crime across institutions and borders. Project Aurora is shining light on dark money. Thank you.